I mean, when you stop to think, not just about this weekend, but about the last 60 years, it's sometimes easy to forget that the one thing that's remained constant throughout is, of course, Her Majesty the Queen. You know, despite whatever's going on in our lives or in the world, she's been there, of course. And it made me think about the Queen's astrological chart, and if there was anything in that not only reinforced it, but perhaps threw in the odd surprise. So who better to tell me than Joyce Hopewell, who's spoken to me many times on the Drive Time show here on BBC Radio Stoke. Joyce, perhaps you could start by telling us how the charts work that you put together.
Well, hi, Tim. It's nice to talk to you about it. And my goodness, hasn't it been exciting?
I think you've enjoyed every moment.
Oh, really? Fabulous. I love that fly past.
Oh, it was amazing.
It put a smile on her face as well, didn't it? Yeah, it was lovely.
It really did.
Okay, charts. Yeah, I mean, what I'm doing with this is not predictive astrology at all. It's astrological psychology. So I've been looking at the Queen's chart, and what I do with her chart, what I do with everybody's, is to look and see what this person's inner motivation is, what's actually driving this person, and whereabouts in the environment, in the world around them, they're trying to put these energies out. So I've got the Queen's chart in front of me at the moment, and I can tell you that this is a very, very focused lady. She's got a lot of energy. She's not overwhelmed with it, but my goodness, she knows how to use it in a constructive, focused way. In fact, she's got a tremendous amount of sensitivity as well. I've just been thinking about this afternoon. You know, she beams. When she smiles, my goodness, she smiles brilliantly. But the feelings we don't know a lot about. And I think she's got so much sensitivity, obviously because of the job she does. She's not allowed to show this, or she doesn't, you know, she chooses not to. But it's there, and she actually feels, I think, very deeply for her people and what has been done this weekend.
I got a sense last night, particularly at the concert, that the emotion had actually got to her for a time.
Yes, I think she was. I think she was looked at. I kept worrying about how cold she might have been sitting out there after being on the river. But I think she was. It was under control. But it was there, and obviously I think a lot of people felt for her because of Philip having gone into hospital as well. I mean, that certainly got to me in thinking, there she is, she's got to do this on her own in a way. So I think there's a lot of feeling around for her at the moment, and there is a lot of depth of feeling, but in her chart, which I can see now, the feeling that the moon, which relates to emotions and feelings, is there. It's very warm, but it's kept in a place that is probably just there for her closest, her nearest and dearest on a one-to-one basis.
Does her chart change at all, or, you know, like, you know, Her Majesty herself, does it remain pretty constant?
It remains absolutely constant, as for all of us. But what happens is that we mature and grow, and we learn to use parts of it more effectively and efficiently. And we change as well in the way we express what we have in our charts. Now, for me, the Queen's chart is completely dominated by this sort of motivational behaviour structure that I can see in her chart, which is about performing. It's about, not as an actor would, but performing and actually getting on with the job and working extremely hard. It's a sort of behaviour pattern that shows purposeful work and the capacity to work tirelessly. And it will be replenishing itself all the time. She's not going to run out of steam. She's going to keep doing it. And her chart is kind of dominated by a planet, which is Saturn, which is very much to do with structure, with form, with organisation, and hanging in there and preserving and maintaining. So what she's done through the years, I feel, is to uphold that. But at the same time, she's able to go with the flow and notice, observe when it's necessary to be flexible and to move with the times. And I think, you know, we can think back through the last 10 or 20 years when she has actually had to be a bit more flexible and move forward, and she's done so. She's allowed things to change in the monarchy.
It must be fascinating for you, and I know you write books and you're blogging about this as well, how you can see that sort of steadfastness, but also that ability to adapt to change.
Yeah, that's because it comes from what I'm looking at is the inner motivation. It's got a flexibility. She's very sensitive. I think she's incredibly sensitive. But what doesn't show so much is that sensitivity. That sensitivity doesn't show so much. What shows is the dogged determination, the hard work, the dedication, the commitment, and the loyalty that we've seen expressed. We've all expressed thanks for this weekend.
Well, we'll look out for your blogs. Presumably we can just look them up, can we?
I have written about the Queen, not only just the Queen. I've written about Charles, and I've written about William and Kate and Harry on my blog, but I certainly have written about the Queen, and I've written about her in my last book that I wrote, which is called Aspect Patterns in Colour. Yeah. If you go to my blog, you can read about all of these, and you can find out about the books as well.